These are not normal R-verses. This looks like a motorhome, but some of these machines carry more than 100 gallons of water, store over 20,000 watt-hours of battery power, ride on heavy-duty truck chassis, and cost more than many luxury homes. One has a 600 horsepower engine and up to 732 square feet of living space. Another carries 200 gallons of diesel fuel and can travel up to 1,800 miles before stopping for fuel. And some are built less like campers and more like private survival bases on wheels. These are not normal R-verses. They are expedition vehicles. Part off-road truck, part luxury apartment, part power station, part survival machine. Today we are counting down 10 extreme motorhomes and expedition vehicles that prove the modern RV is no longer just about camping. It is about freedom, luxury, and the ability to keep going when the road disappears. Number 10. Storyteller Overland GXV EPIC. The American expedition truck with a 1,800-mile range. At number 10 is the Storyteller Overland GXV EPIC. This is not a weekend camper. It is a serious American expedition truck built for people who want to travel far away from normal campgrounds, paved roads, and predictable routes. The EPIC is built on a converted Kenworth 4x4 chassis and powered by a 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel engine. That already tells you this vehicle is not playing in the same category as a regular RV. But the real shock comes from its fuel system. The GXV EPIC carries 200 gallons of diesel fuel. That is about 757 liters. Storyteller says that gives it up to 1,800 miles of range. That is nearly 2,900 kilometers before needing another fuel stop. For an expedition vehicle, that number is massive. It means this truck is not only designed to reach a remote destination, it is designed to keep traveling after normal vehicles would already be searching for fuel. Its off-road hardware is serious too. The EPIC uses front and rear locking differentials, a high and low range transfer case, a crawl ratio of 50:1, King off-road shocks, forged aluminum wheels, and huge 44-inch Bridgestone L315 tires. It also comes with a 20,000-pound winch for self-recovery. That is the kind of equipment you want when your route turns into mud, rocks, sand, or snow. And this truck is not only built for movement, it is built for living. Inside, the EPIC includes 2 seatbelts, 2 beds, a full bathroom, and a serious off-grid electrical system. The power system offers 18 kilowatt-hours of usable power, a 4,500-watt inverter, and 1,980 watts of rated solar panels. In simple terms, this vehicle is not just a camper, it is a long-range diesel expedition platform with a built-in power station and a small home inside. That is why it starts our list. Because the GXV EPIC shows exactly where the modern extreme RV is going. Longer range, more power, more off-road ability, and fewer reasons to turn back. Numero 9, EarthCruiser EXP, the compact pop-top expedition vehicle. At number 9 is the EarthCruiser EXP, where the Storyteller GXV EPIC is a heavy-duty American expedition truck. The EarthCruiser EXP takes a different approach. It is smaller, more compact, and designed around the idea that the best expedition vehicle is not always the biggest one. Its most recognizable feature is the pop-up roof. When the roof is lowered, the vehicle stays more compact and easier to drive through difficult places. When the roof is raised, the interior opens up, giving more standing room and a much more comfortable living space. That matters because overlanding is always a compromise. A tall vehicle is comfortable at camp, but harder to drive through forests, narrow tracks, and tight trails. A lower vehicle is easier to move, but less comfortable once you stop. The EarthCruiser EXP tries to give you both. The exterior is built for remote travel. The interior is designed as a compact off-grid home. Depending on configuration, it can include a sleeping area, kitchen, bathroom setup, water systems, power systems, solar charging, climate control, and storage for long-distance travel. The important thing about the EXP is not one giant horsepower number. It is the engineering philosophy. Keep the vehicle compact, keep it capable, keep it self-contained, and make it livable enough for real travel, not just weekend camping. That is why the EarthCruiser is loved by serious overlanders. It does not try to be a rolling mansion. It tries to be the vehicle that can actually reach the places where rolling mansions cannot go. And in the world of expedition motorhomes, that is a different kind of luxury. Number 8, Bliss Mobil 20-foot unit, the expedition home built like a container. At number 8 is the Bliss Mobil 20-foot unit. This is one of the smartest concepts in the expedition RV world because Bliss Mobil does not build a normal motorhome. It builds a self-contained living module that can be mounted on different expedition trucks. Think of it as a high-end, off-grid cabin designed to ride on the back of a serious 4x4 or 6x6 vehicle. The 20-foot Bliss Mobil unit is especially interesting because it uses the official dimensions of a 20-foot DIN shipping container. Its length is 6,059 millimeters, or about 19.9 feet. Its dry weight is approximately 4,200 kilograms, or about 9,260 pounds. That means the living unit alone weighs more than many small cars. Bliss says this module can fit 6x6 trucks, as well as some 4x4 trucks with an extended frame. It uses a steel frame and 60mm composite walls with a PET core. That wall thickness matters. In extreme travel, the body is not just decoration, it is insulation, protection, structure, comfort, and weather resistance. Inside, a Bliss Mobil module can include sleeping areas, kitchen systems, bathroom facilities, storage, heating, cooling, solar integration, lithium batteries, water systems, and the equipment needed for long-term off-grid living. The genius of the design is flexibility. If the truck underneath changes, the expedition home does not necessarily have to be thrown away. The module is its own living system. Mounted on the right truck, it becomes one of the most capable expedition motorhomes on the planet. Outside, it can look industrial and almost military. Inside, it can feel clean, modern, and surprisingly comfortable. That contrast is what makes the Bliss Mobil so interesting. It is not just an RV, it is a modular survival apartment built for the back of a monster truck. Number 7, Unicat Expedition Vehicle, the German global travel machine. At number 7 is Unicat. Unicat is not one single vehicle. It is a German builder of custom expedition vehicles designed for global travel, and its machines are some of the most serious motorhomes on Earth. A Unicat can be built on heavy-duty truck platforms from brands like MAN, Mercedes-Benz, Unimog, and other commercial or military-style chassis. That means the foundation is not a decorative off-road package. These vehicles are often based on platforms originally designed for industrial work, difficult terrain, and long-distance heavy-duty use. Depending on the build, a Unicat expedition vehicle can include permanent all-wheel drive, locking differentials, large fuel and water storage, off-grid electrical systems, heating, air conditioning, advanced communications, storage compartments, and a living body designed for remote travel. Some Unicat builds look like desert expedition trucks. Others look like mobile research stations. And some are so large they feel more like houses mounted on military trucks. The appeal is simple. A Unicat is built for people who do not want to ask whether the road is good enough. They want to know whether the vehicle can keep going when the road gets worse. Inside, these vehicles can be customized with sleeping areas, bathrooms, kitchens, workspaces, entertainment systems, and long-term living layouts. But the real luxury is not only the interior, the real luxury is confidence. Confidence that you can carry water, carry power, carry fuel, carry tools, and keep living even when normal RV infrastructure disappears. That is why Unicat belongs on this list. It represents the European side of the expedition world. Overbuilt, custom, serious, and designed for journeys that may cross deserts, mountains, forests, and continents. Number 6. EarthRoamer LTx, the luxury overland RV. Built on a Ford F550, at number 6 is the EarthRoamer LTx. EarthRoamer is one of the most famous names in American luxury overlanding, and the LTx is the model that shows why. It is built on a Ford F550 platform, giving it the feel of a powerful American truck rather than a giant European expedition lorry. But do not confuse familiar with ordinary. The LTx is still a very serious off-road, off-grid luxury vehicle. Its capacities are what separate it from normal RVs. It carries 95 gallons of fuel. That is about 360 liters. It carries 100 gallons of fresh water. That is about 379 liters. It has 40 gallons of gray water capacity and a 5-gallon black water cassette. Its electrical system includes 18,000 watt-hours of battery capacity, a 9,000-watt inverter charger, and 1,480 watts of solar power. It can seat up to 4 people, sleep up to 4 people, and tow up to 10,000 pounds, or about 4,536 kilograms. These numbers show what the EarthRoamer is really about. It is not trying to be a normal campground RV. It is designed to support life away from hookups, power from the sun, water on board, fuel for long trips, a strong truck underneath, and a comfortable interior inside a rugged exterior show. The LTx is also a status symbol. For many Americans, EarthRoamer represents the dream of leaving the highway, finding the perfect remote campsite, and still having a real bed, a kitchen, heat, electricity, and a hot shower. That combination of rugged and refined is why the EarthRoamer brand became iconic. It is not cheap, it is not small, but it is one of the clearest examples of how overlanding became luxury. Numero 5. SLRV Commander 8x8, the 2-story expedition motorhome, built like a rolling apartment. At number 5 is the SLRV Commander 8x8. This is not just an RV. It is not even just an expedition truck. It is a massive Australian-built luxury motorhome that can be configured as a 2-story off-road home. And that is what makes it so outrageous. Most motorhomes try to make a small interior feel bigger. The SLRV Commander 8x8 takes a different approach. It starts with an enormous MAN TGS 8x8 truck platform, then builds a self-contained expedition house on top of it. The result is one of the most extreme motorhomes ever created. The numbers are almost unbelievable. The Commander 8x8 uses a 12.5-liter 6-cylinder diesel engine, producing around 480 horsepower and approximately 1,646 pound-feet of torque. That is about 2,230 newton-meters. It sends power through a 12-speed automatic transmission. It has a 2-speed transfer case, and it uses 4 differential locks, giving it the traction needed to move a massive home across difficult terrain. That is why this vehicle does not feel like a normal camper. It feels like a luxury apartment mounted on an off-road truck. Some versions of the Commander 8x8 measure roughly 33.8 feet or 10.3 meters long. They can be about 8.5 feet or 2.6 meters wide and around 13.1 feet or 4 meters tall before the roof system expands. But the most shocking feature is the available lifting roof. Certain double-story builds can raise the upper level by around 6.5 feet or about 2 meters, creating a true 2-floor living space. That is something almost no normal RV can offer. Inside, the Commander 8x8 can be configured for large families or long expeditions, with sleeping areas, a full kitchen, lounge space, bathroom facilities, storage, air conditioning, power systems, and the comfort of a real home. Some layouts can sleep up to 10 people. That is not a weekend camper layout. That is a mobile expedition base. SLRV also designs its Commander platform for self-sufficient travel, with off-road systems, custom living modules, air-controlled seating, and the ability to build the vehicle around the owner's exact mission. This is why custom expedition vehicles are so different from regular RVs. A normal RV asks, how many people do you want to sleep? A vehicle like the Commander 8x8 asks, how far from civilization do you want to go? How much comfort do you want to bring? And how much truck do you need underneath your home? The Commander 8x8 is not subtle. It is huge. It is heavy. It is expensive. And it is definitely not something you casually drive through a crowded city. But that is exactly why it belongs on this list. Because this machine shows the extreme end of the expedition motorhome world. It is a house. It is a truck. It is a mobile base camp. And in double-story form, it becomes one of the most outrageous off-road motorhomes ever built. The SLRV Commander 8x8 proves that when money, engineering, and imagination come together, an RV can become something far more dramatic, a luxury apartment that can leave the road behind. Numero 4, Bruder EXP-8, the off-road expedition trailer, built like a survival capsule. At number 4 is the Bruder EXP-8. Now this one is different from almost everything else on this list. It is not a self-driving motorhome. It is not a giant 8x8 truck. And it is not a luxury bus pretending to be adventurous. The Bruder EXP-8 is an extreme off-road expedition trailer. But do not let the word trailer fool you. This is not the kind of camper you tow to a normal campground for the weekend. The EXP-8 is built like a self-contained survival capsule designed to follow serious off-road vehicles into places where ordinary travel trailers would fall apart. And that is exactly why it belongs this high on the list. Because sometimes the most extreme RV is not the one with the biggest engine. Sometimes it is the one that lets you bring a complete off-grid home behind your truck, while still keeping your tow vehicle free to explore. The first thing that makes the EXP-8 special is its construction. Bruder builds it with a strong off-road body and a suspension system made for rough terrain. The trailer has an ATM of 3,500 kilograms, or about 7,716 pounds. Its tare weight is around 2,800 kilograms, or about 6,172 pounds, depending on options. It has a body length of 5,844 millimeters, or about 19.17 feet. Its total length is 7,089 millimeters, or about 23.3 feet. The body width is 2,268 millimeters, or about 7.44 feet. Its low travel height is 2,552 millimeters, or about 8.37 feet. And when fully raised, the height reaches 2,905 millimeters, or about 9.5 feet. Those numbers make the EXP-8 large enough to feel like a real expedition home, but still compact enough to tow behind a capable off-road truck. And that is the key difference. A massive motorhome gives you everything in one vehicle, but a trailer like this lets you separate your home from your truck. You can drive into a remote area, set up the trailer as a base camp, then disconnect your tow vehicle and explore trails, towns, beaches, forests, or narrow tracks without dragging your entire house behind you. That makes the EXP-8 extremely practical for real adventure travel. But the real shock is the off-grid system. The Bruder EXP-8 can carry a 20 kilowatt-hour battery system. That is 20,000 watt-hours. It uses a 5,000-watt inverter, and it can carry around 1,680 watts of solar power. Those are not normal trailer numbers. That is the kind of electrical system that makes the EXP-8 feel less like a simple camper and more like a mobile power station. Power is one of the biggest limits in off-grid travel. If you do not have power, you cannot run refrigeration, lighting, communications, cooking systems, air conditioning, charging equipment, or modern electronics for very long. The EXP-8 is designed to stretch that limit. With solar on the roof, a large battery bank, and a serious inverter, this trailer is built for people who want to stay far away from hookups. And off-grid travel is not only about electricity, it is also about water. Depending on configuration, the EXP-8 can carry a large freshwater system, with many builds designed around long-distance remote travel. That matters because water is one of the first things that stops an adventure. Fuel can take you across distance. Power can keep your systems alive. But water decides how long you can actually stay. That is why the EXP-8 is not just a stylish camper. It is engineered around independence. Inside, the Bruder EXP-8 can include a comfortable sleeping area, a kitchen, refrigeration, storage, climate control, lighting, and a bathroom setup. It is not trying to be a giant luxury apartment like some of the other RVs on this list. Instead, it is trying to be a compact off-road shelter that can survive almost anywhere. That design makes it feel like a survival capsule. Tough outside, comfortable inside, self-contained enough to support real travel, and flexible enough to work with a tow vehicle you already trust. This is why the Bruder EXP-8 is such a smart addition to the list. It breaks up the lineup, it gives the video a different type of vehicle, and it proves that extreme RV design is not only about building bigger trucks. Sometimes the better idea is to build a trailer so capable that it can follow a serious 4x4 into places where normal caravans would never survive. The EXP-8 also gives the owner a major advantage over a huge motorhome. If your motorhome gets stuck, your whole home is stuck. If your motorhome needs repairs, your whole living space is tied to that vehicle. But with a trailer, your truck and your home are separate. That makes the setup more flexible, especially for travelers who want to camp in one place and explore with a lighter vehicle. Of course, it is not perfect. You still need a powerful tow vehicle. You still need to understand off-road towing. And in tight terrain, a trailer can be more difficult than a single vehicle. But for the right owner, the Bruder EXP-8 offers a very different kind of freedom. It is not the biggest RV on this list. It is not the most powerful. It does not have its own engine. But that is what makes it interesting. The EXP-8 proves that extreme does not always mean bigger. Extreme can mean smarter, more independent, more flexible, and more capable when the road disappears. The Bruder EXP-8 is not a normal trailer. It is a luxury off-road survival capsule built for people who want to tow their home into places where ordinary campers would never survive. Number 3, EarthCruiser Extreme 330 XTR 6x6, the 6-wheel Land Cruiser. Built for Australia's toughest terrain, at number 3 is the EarthCruiser Extreme 330 XTR 6x6. This is one of the wildest expedition vehicles to come out of Australia, and it starts with one of the most trusted off-road platforms in the world, the Toyota Land Cruiser 79 series. But EarthCruiser did not leave it as a normal 4x4. The Extreme 330 XTR 6x6 stretches the idea into a serious 6-wheel drive expedition motorhome. EarthCruiser Australia says the Extreme 330 6x6 is built for extreme conditions, with 6-wheel drive, rugged construction, and the ability to customize the interior for long-distance travel. Independent coverage describes it as a purpose-built 6x6 based on the 79 series Land Cruiser, developed to handle some of the world's harshest terrain. The numbers show why this vehicle is so serious. The Extreme 330 XTR 6x6 uses a 6x6 drive system developed with a bogie rear axle arrangement designed for load sharing between the rear axles. It can lock drive to all 6 wheels when traction is needed. It uses portal axles that add around 5 inches of lift. Ground clearance under the differential can reach around 390 millimeters, or about 15.4 inches. Chassis clearance at ride height has been reported at approximately 610 millimeters, or about 24 inches. It can run 35 by 12.5-inch mud terrain tires on forged alloy wheels. It uses a central tire inflation system, allowing the driver to adjust tire pressures from inside the cabin. And the suspension system includes airbag suspension with automatic load and horizon leveling. That means this vehicle is not just made to look tough, it is engineered to keep moving across rough ground while carrying a fully outfitted camper body. The Extreme 330XTR 6x6 also carries serious touring equipment. Reported specifications include around 275 liters of fuel capacity, which is about 72.6 US gallons, and around 275 liters of fresh water. Off-grid power can include a lithium battery system, 810 watts of solar, a 3,000-watt Victron inverter, and a sealed brushless alternator system. Inside, it can include a compact but highly functional living space with seating, a kitchen, water purification, an internal or external shower, diesel hot water, air conditioning, a microwave, induction cooking, refrigeration, laundry equipment, and a toilet system. This is why the Extreme 330XTR 6x6 belongs so high on the list. It is not trying to be a giant luxury bus. It is trying to be something more useful in the real world. A compact, brutally capable expedition home built from an off-road legend. It has the soul of a Land Cruiser, the traction of a 6x6, and the equipment to live far beyond the edge of normal RV travel. For Australia, that makes perfect sense. Because in a country where distances are huge, terrain can be brutal, and help can be very far away, the best motorhome is not always the biggest. Sometimes it is the one that can keep going when everything else turns back. Number 2, Marchi Mobile eleMMent Palazzo Superior, the $3 million luxury motorhome that looks like a spaceship. At number 2 is the strangest luxury motorhome on the list, the Marchi Mobile eleMMent Palazzo Superior. This vehicle does not look like an expedition truck. It does not look like a camper van. It barely looks like anything else on the road. It looks like a futuristic yacht, a private jet lounge, and a concept bus all merged into one giant mobile mansion. The specifications are just as outrageous as the design. The Palazzo Superior uses a Volvo 6-cylinder inline engine, producing up to 600 horsepower. It has an automatic transmission. It weighs around 28 tons. It measures 13.7 meters, or 45 feet, long. It stands 4 meters, or about 13 feet, tall. With the roof deck raised, the height can reach 6 meters, or nearly 20 feet. The driving width is 2.55 meters, or about 8.4 feet, and when fully extended, the vehicle can reach a width of 5 meters, or about 16.4 feet. But the most shocking number is the living space. The Palazzo Superior offers up to 68 square meters of living area. That is approximately 732 square feet. That is not camper space. That is luxury apartment space on wheels. Inside, the vehicle can include a master bedroom, luxury bathroom, lounge, kitchen, entertainment systems, premium materials, and a roof deck style area that feels more like a yacht than an RV. This is not an off-road survival truck. It is extreme in a completely different way. It asks a different question. What if the motorhome became a rolling private mansion? For some people, the ultimate RV is about crossing deserts. For others, it is about arriving in a vehicle that looks like nothing else on Earth. The eleMMent Palazzo Superior is not subtle. It is not practical in the normal sense, but it is unforgettable. And in the world of extreme motorhomes, unforgettable is enough to put it near the top. Number 1, EarthRoamer SX, the ultimate American luxury expedition vehicle. At number 1 is the EarthRoamer SX. This vehicle earns the top position because it captures the modern American expedition motorhome dream better than almost anything else. It is rugged, it is luxurious, it is self-contained, and its specifications are absolutely serious. The SX is built on a heavy-duty truck platform and designed as a high-end, off-road, off-grid expedition vehicle. It carries 100 gallons of fuel, or about 379 liters. It carries 120 gallons of fresh water, or about 454 liters. It has 55 gallons of gray water capacity and 2 5-gallon black water cassettes. Its electrical system includes 24,000 watt-hours of battery capacity. That is 24 kilowatt-hours. It has a 9,000-watt inverter charger, and on the roof, it carries 1,800 watts of solar power. It can seat up to 6 people, it can sleep up to 6 people, and it can tow up to 10,000 pounds, or about 4,536 kilograms. Those numbers are why the SX feels less like a camper and more like a private, off-grid base camp. Fuel, water, solar, battery power, sleeping space, towing capacity, a heavy-duty truck underneath, and a luxury living space inside. This is what separates the EarthRoamer SX from a normal motorhome. A normal RV often depends on smooth roads, hookups, campgrounds, and predictable travel. The SX is designed for people who want to keep going after those things disappear. It does not mean the vehicle is invincible. No expedition motorhome is. But it is built around independence. If the road becomes rough, it has the truck platform. If the campsite has no power, it has solar and lithium batteries. If there is no water hookup, it carries a large, freshwater supply. If the weather changes, it still gives you shelter, heat, power, and a real bed. That is the ultimate promise of the luxury expedition RV. Not just travel, control. Control over where you sleep, where you stop, how far you go, and how much comfort you bring into the unknown. That is why the EarthRoamer SX takes the #1 position. It is not just a motorhome. It is one of the clearest examples of what happens when American truck culture, off-grid technology, and luxury travel become one machine. The RV has become a survival machine. The old motorhome was built for highways, campgrounds, and family vacations. But these machines are something else. The Storyteller GXV EPIC carries enough fuel to cross enormous distances. The EarthCruiser EXP proves that compact design can still be expedition-ready. Bliss Mobil turns a truck module into a self-contained survival home. Unicat builds German expedition machines for global travel. The GXV Patagonia shows how custom American builds can become remote luxury cabins. EarthRoamer LTx brings solar, water, diesel power, and luxury into a Ford-based Overland machine. Action Mobile creates 6x6 giants that can cross deserts and mountains. The EarthRoamer HD carries water and power like a mobile base camp. Marchi Mobile turns the motorhome into a futuristic luxury mansion. And the EarthRoamer SX may be the ultimate American answer to one question. What if your home could leave the pavement behind? These vehicles are not for everyone. They are expensive. They are heavy. They can be difficult to drive. And most people will never need this much capability. But that is exactly why they are fascinating. They show what happens when the RV stops being just a camper. It becomes a machine for independence. A way to travel without hotels. A way to live without hookups. A way to cross places where ordinary motorhomes cannot go. A way to bring comfort into the unknown. So which one would you choose? The long-range Storyteller GXV EPIC? The luxury EarthRoamer SX? The 6x6 Action Mobile? The modular Bliss Mobil? Or the spaceship-like Marchi Mobil Palazzo Superior? Tell us in the comments below. And subscribe to Unbox the World for more incredible vehicles, luxury machines, expedition trucks, private aviation, futuristic technology, and the machines changing how humans move through the world. This is Unbox the World. We do not just show you the machine, we open it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.